In a spectacular display of defiance, China has inflicted a crushing blow to U.S. military-linked enterprises, blocking their assets in an unprecedented reprisal. Beijing is sending a clear message that it will not tolerate Washington's continued involvement in its affairs. This bold approach, particularly about Taiwan, the self-governing island that the United States has supported with military and political assistance for far too long, not only undermines the global status quo, but also lays the stage for an even more violent clash between the two global superpowers. Is the United States prepared to face the repercussions of driving China to the brink? Or is this the beginning of the end of America's regional hegemony? The world is paying careful attention, and make no mistake, this might be the spark that starts a geopolitical firestorm. The United States, in its unrelenting pursuit of domination, has miscalculated the lengths China will go to safeguard its sovereignty. Washington's insistence on arming Taiwan is nothing more than a risky gamble that is now backfiring spectacularly. For decades, the United States has flaunted its strength. Dismissing China's warnings is only posturing, but the tables have turned, and Beijing's most recent moves demonstrate that the period of U.S. invincibility is gradually disintegrating. As the world's second-largest economy tightens its hold, one thing becomes clear: the days of autonomous American decision-making are finished. How long will the U.S. keep poking the bear before it's too late? Brace yourselves for the uncomfortable truth. This is only the beginning of a seismic shift in global power relations. Stick with us until the end. Hello, and welcome back to the Global Narrative YouTube channel, where we explore the innovative and revolutionary enterprises that are transforming the world. Please subscribe, like, and comment so that we can grow. In a deliberate move, China announced property freezes against many U.S.-based enterprises with military links. This step is part of a broader series of remedies aimed at discouraging the U.S. from continuing to sell armaments to Taiwan. The companies targeted include significant players such as Sierra Nevada Corporation and Stick Rudder Enterprises LLC, whose connections to military contracts have put them squarely in Beijing's eyes. It is no secret that China has repeatedly pressured the United States to end formal relations with Taiwan's leadership. The connection between the United States and Taiwan has long been a source of contention in China's diplomatic relations, as the U.S. remains not only one of Taiwan's important weaponry suppliers, but also a critical international backer. Even though the U.S. has no formal diplomatic ties with Taiwan, it continues to assist the island with arms sales and political gestures, much to China's chagrin. These arms agreements are viewed as a clear provocation by Beijing, escalating tensions in an already precarious regional balance. The steps taken against U.S. corporations are not isolated. They are part of a larger plan China is implementing to counter what it sees as increased U.S. intervention in its domestic affairs. In addition to freezing these enterprises' assets, Beijing has attempted to prevent any persons or organizations in China from conducting dealings with them. This implies a tightening grip and serves as a direct warning to other U.S. corporations with economic interests in the region. China's attitude toward Taiwan remains unwavering, as it reiterates that any type of communication between the U.S. and Taiwan's government violates the One China policy, which is a cornerstone of its foreign policy. This policy states that there is only one China, and Taiwan is an essential part of it, notwithstanding the island's de facto independence. Any divergence from this strategy is viewed as a direct threat to China's sovereignty, and the United States' continuous arms sales are perceived as a direct challenge to Beijing's power. These property freezes are a big step up in the ongoing tensions between the United States and China, and the ramifications stretch far beyond the specific companies concerned. Beijing has targeted several enterprises including Sierra Nevada Corporation, Cubic Corporation, S3 Aerospace, and TCO MLTD Partnership, all of which play critical roles in U.S. military activities. By punishing these companies, China is sending a clear message to Washington. there will be actual consequences for any activities that it believes to jeopardize national security or territorial integrity. Lin Jian, spokesperson for China's foreign ministry, reaffirmed Beijing's demand that the United States immediately suspend arms deliveries to Taiwan. Lin's words matched earlier Chinese officials' statements, emphasizing that the United States must stop deceiving and promoting Taiwan's independence. If it intends to maintain peace in the Taiwan Strait, Beijing's rhetoric has been constant, as it continues to accuse the United States of inciting instability in the region through military backing for Taiwan. The United States has claimed that its arms shipments to Taiwan are required to preserve the island's defensive capabilities in the wake of China's increasing military pressure over the last 5 years. China has significantly increased its military presence surrounding Taiwan, conducting frequent air and sea maneuvers near the island. These exercises, which are frequently considered rehearsals for an impending invasion, have only helped to exacerbate tensions between China and Taiwan. The United States explains its arms deliveries as a means of preventing such an invasion and ensuring Taiwan's ability to defend itself in the event of a military attack. Beijing, on the other hand, has a different perspective on these sales. The United States' support for Taiwan emboldens the island's government to resist reunification efforts, hampering China's long-term goal of regaining control of Taiwan. The Chinese government has made no secret of its ambition to someday integrate Taiwan with the mainland, whether peacefully or via force. As a result, any moves done by the United States to strengthen Taiwan's military defenses are viewed as a direct threat to China's reunification efforts. China's decision to freeze the assets of U.S. companies involved in arms sales is part of a larger pattern of applying economic pressure on foreign governments and businesses over the last decade. Beijing has increasingly used economic weapons to advance its geopolitical interests, such as tariffs, sanctions, and property freezes. In this situation, China has demonstrated a willingness to use its massive economic influence to penalize those who go against its interests. The targeted corporations may suffer immediate financial consequences, but the larger message is aimed squarely at the U.S. government. While China has previously used similar techniques, its current move against U.S. military-linked enterprises highlights the rising tension between the two global heavyweights. Arms supplies to Taiwan are only one facet of China's bigger and more complex relationship with the United States, one that includes trade, technological, and security issues. As tensions rise, both sides are increasingly turning to economic tactics to achieve their strategic aims, a trend that shows little signs of slowing beyond the immediate impact on the corporations involved. This decision by China is expected to have far-reaching consequences for U.S.-China ties. The asset freeze sends a strong signal to other U.S. companies doing business in China that they are not immune to the two nations' geopolitical difficulties. For global firms, the hazards of doing business in China are becoming more evident. As the Chinese government has demonstrated a readiness to utilize economic instruments to push its political goal, this latest development coincides with the United States' increased efforts to curb China's progress, particularly in the field of technology. The United States has levied penalties against Chinese companies such as Huawei and ASML, citing national security concerns. In response, China has increased its attempts to lessen reliance on U.S. technology, including initiatives to build domestic companies in semiconductors and artificial intelligence. This tit-for-tat dynamic has only fueled the rivalry between the two countries, creating concerns about the long-term viability of the global economy. As tensions between China and the United States rise, both parties are increasingly employing economic measures to exert pressure on China. The freezing of U.S. corporations' assets is intended not only to penalize those implicated in arms sales to Taiwan, but also to send a message to the world that it will not accept any activities that compromise its territorial integrity or national security at the same time. The United States has demonstrated a willingness to respond to China's actions, whether through sanctions, tariffs, or arms sales. The long-term repercussions of this impasse are difficult to anticipate, but one thing is certain: China-U.S. relations are at a critical juncture. As both sides continue to disagree on matters ranging from Taiwan to trade, the dangers of additional escalation mount. For companies caught in the middle, the stakes are high as they navigate the increasingly hazardous waters of U.S.-China relations. Thank you for your time, and I welcome your views and questions about this complex and important subject. Would you like to see more videos like this one? If so, please like, share, and subscribe. Check to watch the video on your screen right now, and I'll see you on the other side.